We almost got the deal closed. It was super close. We got closed in escrow though, which is
very normal.
It's normal. And listen, I know I've never closed a deal on closing day ever. I feel like I don't even know what's going on in the world, but I do know what's going on in the world. And it's not pretty. Holy shit.
Well, let's just make a comment about our last video.
Our last video.
That thing was booming.
That thing boomed.
If you're watching this now and you didn't see last week's there's information in that video you're not going to get anywhere else.
It's true. Unless you go on Twitter. Then you'll get it.
You'd have to go to many different places to get all that information all at the same time.
Yeah, so or you go to the Assembly King on Twitter or that video. This is a ton of information because you know why, TK? Because nobody else gives a shit about it except for me.
No, there's lots of
people. I'm fascinated with it.
But there's lots of people who care. But we got some good info in there. All right. Back on track.
Back on track. So what's on track? Because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got interest rates that held with the Bank of Canada. That's pretty important.
Boring.
We've got sales seem to be picking up in September, according to some headlines. What else? We can probably talk a little bit more about the one. We've got places in Ontario. I mean, I heard before about Italy giving away property to attract people, but we've got Cochrane, Ontario giving away land for $10 if you're willing to move to wherever the hell that is.
Hey, is it just me or is it getting crazy here? Huh?
Doesn't exist. Not a real place.
We got a lot of stuff. I had a crazy week, TK. We almost got the deal closed. It was super close. We got closed in escrow though, which is
very normal.
It's normal. And listen, I know I've never closed a deal on closing day ever, but I still work really hard to get towards it, right?
Yeah, you had to. I don't think anybody would have done what you had to do in order to get that closed. And so everybody, let's just talk about that really quickly. Everybody thinks that they can put together a deal. I'm not just talking about assemblies. Let's just talk about any type of deal where you're involved. You could be an investor, you could be somebody who's doing new construction, you could be someone like yourself, whatever the situation is. You get to the point where you're able to actually get a buyer and a seller who are actually willing to agree on anything whatsoever, right? Which is hard enough as it is, right? Then you have to be able to figure out a way to be able to actually make sense of it all so that there's even you, yourself, or your partners, the bank, anybody else who's involved in this transaction even wants to remotely get involved with it whatsoever. There's all sorts of work in between there. And you have to satisfy all these people's needs in order to be able to get it through to the finish line on closing, including the lawyers, including the insurance, including the mortgage, including the buyers, the sellers. Everybody's got their own sort of requirements. And one of those stages, people fail. It's just what happens. People fail. There's a ton of deals that don't close on the commercial side. Like residential, you're pretty much like a 99.9% chance of closing if you got a firm deal. Those people figure out a way how to do it. When the market changes, it maybe goes to 99.8%. But otherwise, everybody's closing. Commercial is not the same. There's lots of reasons for a deal to not end up closing, and there ended up being in a lawsuit or someone finding a way out of the deal. Like remember Vitaly's deal? He had that deal like wrapped up, and it was like, oh my God.
Until he didn't.
Right. But it was like closing day, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, that garage. It's a little bit on the other neighbor's property there, Now
I can't get any of the money all of a sudden.
Yeah. So I don't really want it anymore. See ya. Things happen.
For sure. Like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.